Studio lights are usually warm, comforting, little suns suspended from steel glowing on cue. But that evening, as Ben Shephard stepped onto the quiet set long after the cameras had stopped rolling, the lights felt cold. They gave the room a hollow, metallic glimmer, like a place abandoned by laughter. Annie stood near the edge of the stage, arms wrapped around herself. She had been waiting, and he knew it. He could feel the weight of her silence before he even met her eyes. "Ben," she said softly, "they told me you wanted to talk." He nodded, though the words tangled in his throat. For a man who had interviewed thousands, politicians, athletes, actors, people whose stories span triumph and tragedy, he found himself completely lost in his own. "I should have told you earlier," he began, voice unsteady, "but I didn't know how." Annie stepped closer. Her face, usually lively and bright, carried an anxious tenderness now. "Whatever it is, we'll deal with it," she whispered. "Just tell me." Ben sank onto the low step of the stage. He had rehearsed this confession in the privacy of empty dressing rooms, in the reflective silence of his car, even in the endless corridors of his mind. But speaking it aloud felt like shattering something fragile. "I've been carrying something that's been weighing on me for a long time." He paused, swallowing hard. "And I didn't want it to hurt you." Annie slowly knelt beside him. "You're scaring me." A single breath escaped him, broken, uneven. "I'm leaving the show." Her eyes flickered, stunned. "What? Why? We just started the season, Ben. You said you were fine." "I wasn't," he admitted. "I kept pushing through because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. Not the viewers, not the team, and not you." His voice cracked. "But I'm exhausted, Annie. Not just tired, burned out. Every morning I wake up wondering if I can keep going, and every night I pretend it's all still easy." She didn't respond right away. The silence expanded between them like the widening gap of a collapsing bridge. "But you love this," she finally whispered. "I do," he said, eyes glistening. "But somewhere along the way, I stopped loving myself in it." Tears welled in Annie's eyes. She blinked them back, but they spilled anyway, sliding down her cheeks in quiet streaks. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Because you're the strongest person I know, and I didn't want you thinking I was giving up. I was afraid you'd look at me differently." She shook her head, brushing her tears away with the back of her hand. "Then you don't have to be strong for me. You don't have to be strong all the time at all." Her voice trembled as she reached for his hand. "You're human. You're allowed to need rest. You're allowed to step back. But you're not allowed to go through it alone." His shoulders sagged with relief and anguish all at once. Hearing the words he'd needed, yearned to hear, undid him completely. His breath hitched, and suddenly he was crying too. Not the subtle, silent kind he had mastered over the years. This was raw, unguarded, honest. Annie moved closer and held him. "You've given so much of yourself. It's okay to take something back." He buried his face against her shoulder, the confession breaking free at last. "I'm scared." "I know," she said softly. "But I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." The lights above them hummed gently, casting a glow that now felt softer, kinder, no longer cold, but warm again, as if relieved to witness truth after weeks of quiet strain. When they finally pulled apart, Annie wiped the last tear from her face and tried to smile. "So, this isn't the end. It's just the next chapter." Ben nodded, shaky but certain. The next chapter. They stood together in the empty studio, surrounded not by cameras or scripts or expectations, but something far more important: honesty. And in that silence, something unspoken shifted. It wasn't tragic. It wasn't even an ending. It was healing. Painful, yes, but necessary. And for the first time in months, Ben felt the faint, unfamiliar warmth of hope.